Well, hello, Facebook. I am Sarah Carnes. I am here with Dr. Torek at Trillium Creek Dermatology, and we're having a question and answer session here today. We want you to ask your questions and comments below. Today, we are talking about back to school acne. Now, this is a topic for a lot of parents out there who, like me, have kids in school. And they get a little nervous about going back to school if there's any issues with acne, right?
Yeah, they're embarrassed.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to you and ask you some questions, and then we're going to look for your questions below as well. So, Dr. Torek, I want to start here with just to start things off. What are the most common skin issues for children and teens when going back to school?
Well, the first one obviously is acne, right? Whether it's a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. It's self-consciousness, feeling good about yourself when you're in school, making fun of you or making comments. So acne is one of the most major ones. All right. The other one is kids get close, like little ones, they hug each other. They're sharing hats and things like that. So the other thing is impetigo, which is a bacterial infection.
Yes.
So commonly around the mouth and around the nose, that's where it usually starts. Cold sores looks like impetigo. So often they'll say, oh, you have impetigo, when it's actually a cold sore. Cold sores are common. You're stressing.
Yeah.
So cold sores come out. 70% of kids get cold sores eventually. So that's very common.
Wow. Yeah.
So your impetigo, look at this, looks similar to your cold sore, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So people get confused. This is highly contagious, highly
Okay.
contagious, right? Spreads like wildfire. It just goes through the skin. Scabies in high school, kids are sharing clothes and things like that. They get together. Very, very itchy condition. This is a mite. Very contagious.
Okay.
Very contagious. Warts are contagious. You go through gyms, locker rooms, bottom of the feet.
Yes.
It's a virus.
Yes.
Right? This is a virus. This is a virus. Lice, head. I don't know if you've ever experienced that in relatives or anybody, but this is very
as
common.
Parents, we've all experienced maybe at least one of those.
And this is what you fear, warts and lice and scabies and cold sores and impetigo.
We do, and we want to get ahead of it before we get there. I guess I just want to talk about the warts for a second too, and some of these more. What should you do if your kid has them and you see them right away? Is it something you treat right over the counter?
Well, the good news is 50 to 60% of warts can go away on their own.
Okay.
All right. The ones that don't go away, that persist, that you see, then you want to make sure that you treat them. They're contagious. Yeah. So they're in the shower. They're on the bottom of the feet. Your other children go into the shower, and guess what? They pick up the virus. It's a virus. It just sits there and it's contagious.
Yeah.
Or when you have it on the hands, you hold hands, you have your children, you're holding their hand. You're going to get the warts from them.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So treat them. Yeah.
Does my child's skin routine need to change as the season changes from summer to fall? I mean, you're going from hot weather and being maybe sweaty more to cooler weather. Just, they need to change it up?
Yes, you do. You're drier in the summer because the sun dries out your acne, right? You're sweating. Yes, you are. And the sweating isn't as bad in the fall as it is in the summer. So you can get eczema from the sweating. You can get infections from the sweating. But you want to start using, I like something like a Dove for sensitive skin to start cleansing your skin, getting ready for school, getting rid of the bacteria on your skin, drying up some of the oil that you've gotten from the summer. But you want to start getting a little more gentle with your skin as the weather gets colder and drier.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. What can my child do before going off to school for the day to keep their skin clean and healthy?
Well, I do like kids to take a shower in the morning. I think when you take a shower in the morning, you're fresher. You wash off the oil, you wash off the bacteria, especially in the armpits, because when you sweat, you've got bacteria in the armpit and you start to smell. That's bacteria. So I like to use like a Dial for sensitive skin in the shower, especially around the armpits, and then Dove on the rest of you so you're not drying out too much. But change up. Take your shower in the morning. Don't put a lot of heavy makeup in the morning, especially for young girls.
Right.
When they're off to school trying to hide their acne, that aggravates it.
Right.
You know, don't over scrub. When you over scrub, you can get irritated. You can get rashes from over scrubbing. And you want to watch that.
So my child is going to school for the first time. What skin concerns do I need to keep an eye out for?
All of these, all of these, the lice, the acne, the scabies, they start itching. They start getting a rash around the mouth. Always think of impetigo. That's just watch what they start developing. There's no symptoms to this, but it just keeps spreading like wildfire. This hurts. Cold sores hurts.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No, that is so true. And we're all going to go through it at some time.
Right.
How can I help my child avoid lice? We talked about that, and what's the best way to treat it?
So lice is a mite. It doesn't have legs. Well, it has legs, but it doesn't have wings. So you can't, spread it from the air. It's sharing combs. It's sharing hats. It's sharing caps. It's going, you're football and the kids want to share the helmets. I wouldn't do that.
I know.
I wouldn't do that. Don't share
Especially
combs.
of girls with long hair.
They're combing. Oh, here, you can use my comb. No. Yeah.
It's no fun to go through
don't
that.
Share.
Don't share.
Share online, but don't share in real life.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Do adults have to worry about catching viruses like hand, foot, and mouth disease from their young children?
Oh, absolutely. And the problem is children, hand, foot, and mouth goes away in 2 weeks. But in adults, it can be violently serious.
Wow.
You can end up in the hospital with pneumonia from it, seriously ill. Wow. Arthritis. They get lots more complications when they get the virus from the kids.
That is so interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, we do have a couple of questions from our viewers here. Mask cause acne. What should I do?
So you want to make sure you use a light moisturizer, one that we recommend also for acne, that has also some chamomile in it, some herbal drying agents. You put that on first, and then you put your mask over it.
Okay.
We actually make a product called Maskne.
I was going to say, there's a name for it now, right? Maskne?
Right, for masking. We call it Masking Defense, and we put all those great ingredients in it.
That's so
you put it on in the morning, it really helps you dry up, and you don't break out.
And adults and kids, I'm sure it happens to
all
both.
of them can use it. Yeah.
Another viewer question: do you offer laser treatments, and how often?
So that's a really important consideration, because there are moms who don't want systemic treatments for their children for acne. Mm-hmm. They don't want antibiotics. They don't want hormones. They don't want birth control pills. That's right. We use all of that for acne to try and control it. So we use lasers called Aerolase, or even the BBL or IPL. Every 3 weeks. And sometimes your insurance company will cover it, which is really nice. Yeah. Because you need more than one treatment. It's every 3 weeks, 6 to 8 treatments. Okay. Really does a beautiful job clearing up the acne.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. So another question: I play sports. I get pimples that look like they form beneath the skin. How do I treat?
So those are sweat bumps. They look like pimples. That's called miliaria rubrum. Miliaria means sweat. Okay. Rubrum means red. Red bumps from sweating, like children in football right now, right? Mm-hmm. Or who sweat a lot. They'll get it on the shoulders, the chest, forehead, and it can be acne, but it's usually from sweating. And you can use actually antiperspirants at night to dry them up so you don't sweat.
Okay.
Yeah, and a benzoyl peroxide wash in the shower is marvelous for that.
So a question just kind of playing off of that, that's from, you explained from the sweating and everything. How do you know if your kid's acne is hormonal based or if it's caused from something else? Does it look different? Do you treat it differently?
Most acne is hormonal, unless you're taking a medication that's causing your acne. It's, it's genetic. It is a hormone shift change, even in women are, your age, 30s and 40s. That's a hormonal shift. Being on birth control pill breaks you out. Here, sometimes on the wrong one, it's always in that beard area. Boys, girls break out here. That's your hormone area. When you're younger, you start breaking out a little bit here where the oil starts to come because of the hormone. Then it progresses to the jaw area. Okay. And that's more, 16, 17, 18.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So another question with eczema, what's the best daily treatment?
You want to moisturize eczema, but you have to be careful what your moisturizer contains. Okay. If you have lanolin in your moisturizer, which a lot of moisturizers do, you're going to get aggravated because eczema and lanolin don't really get along. Lanolin is wool wax alcohol. It's made from sheep. Okay. So don't use wool clothing. Don't use anything with lanolin in it. Moisturize something with ceramides, your cholesterol medications in the moisturizer. We make some that have no preservatives, no fragrances, no dyes. Those are really important.
Oh, good.
And same thing with soaps. Sensitive
Yeah.
skin is
Make
the
sure
best.
you're using soap, doesn't have a lot of fragrance in it.
Right.
What is the difference between pimples and acne?
There is none.
No, it's the same thing.
Acne
Okay.
is pimples,
Okay.
pustules, pimples, cysts, blackheads, whiteheads, white bumps, little milia. That's all acne.
It's just a different way
Yeah.
of saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
My kid has eczema and sanitizer is drying out their hands. What
Oh,
can we
miserably.
do?
Yeah, they really dry them out.
Yeah.
Most sanitizers are alcohol-based products. Okay. In children with eczema, I recommend that you get a bar of dial soap, which
Okay.
is an antibacterial. All right. It doesn't strip the skin like your alcohol-based sanitizers.
Okay.
And whenever you use a sanitizer, you want to use a hydrator. You want to use some kind of lotion to then repair the barrier.
Yeah.
Because now you've stripped the skin of the barrier and it's raw.
Right.
It's horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
With back to school schedules getting so busy, what conditions can we call and make a virtual appointment for?
You can do virtual appointments for acne, for impetigo, cold sores. All we need to know is your symptoms.
Okay.
The symptoms give you away as to what you have. This hurts. This does not. It spreads like crazy. Obviously, lice we can see with your camera,
Okay.
and we can see the nits if you show it to us. Warts we can't treat virtually, but we can recommend, vitamins, maybe the 40% salicylic acid pads. You can do things like that.
Now, how would you treat lice, for example?
We use natural products like a Cetaphil cleanser.
Okay.
It's non-toxic. You wet the head, make sure it's wet.
Yeah.
You put Cetaphil cleanser, just slather it all over the hair.
Yeah.
Dry it for 20 minutes with a hairdryer.
Yeah.
Kills everything.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's not toxic.
Yeah.
You can use it on
Very,
anybody.
very important. Yeah. Is liquid makeup going to clog pores more compared to mineral makeup? Good question. I've always wondered that.
Yeah. Mineral makeup, fortunately, is the best product for acne or anybody with large pores or oily.
Okay.
Right? If non-comedogenic is what you want to look for, right? Non-comedogenic means what? Non-occluding. It doesn't plug up your pores. So if you have larger pores, make sure you got a mineral makeup. I love powders on a brush. All right. And you can get a nice finish with a brush with a powder on it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't occlude. It doesn't plug your pores.
Oh, that is good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Can popping pimples cause damage to my face? Even if I see a whitehead, will this cause damage?
Oh, gosh. I've seen horrible damage from a whitehead because women just get so aggressive to get that out of there. They take a needle and they'll stab it and poke it and dig it out. And then they have a scab and a scar. Yes.
So is it true that you should never pop a pimple, or
if you have a nice pussy bumps and you're just gently squeezing, just get that pus out, you're fine. Leave it alone. Don't keep digging and don't keep squeezing it.
Okay.
But yeah, the majority of the time you can scar.
We always learn so much from you. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Thank you so much for your questions, Dr. Torek, and the entire team here. They're happy to answer your questions. Virtual appointments, as we just talked about as well.
Yeah.
So helpful, or helpful as the kids go back to school. I know there's a lot of moms out there like me who always have questions. So thank you, Dr. Torek, for the time today. You can contact them with the information below in comments.